But I want to talk about comfort for a second. And I was trying to help this gentleman and did research on healing of emotional trauma. And when I did this, I realized that I think everybody's had emotional trauma. You know, aside from this event on a Saturday night, I think everybody's had some degree of emotional trauma. And I'll explain it for you. Stress, the difference between stress and trauma, stress is like say for example, you have an exam and you're stressed about the exam. When the exam ends, or when you get the results, you know, your stress about that exam goes away. So it's momentarily and it's gone. Compare that to trauma. Trauma, every time you remember it, you relive it. And your whole body can shake again and again, or it can be stressed again. So every time you remember this event, you relive it. That's trauma. So I just want to show you this tool for healing of emotional trauma. And some of you I've showed before, so please bear with me. Okay, so the idea, you can imagine you're in a war and a bomb goes off beside you and breaks your leg or kills your buddy. The trauma happens so fast, the event happens so fast that you don't have time to think about it and react. So the way that the healing of the trauma works is it's a method to give your brain time to think about it. So what you do is you, the other piece is one side of our brain controls one side of our body, the other side of the brain controls the other side of our body. So if we take one side of the body and touch the other side, we're now activating both sides of our brain. So what the exercise is it's getting both sides of our brain activated while we're thinking about the negative trauma event. And what it does is, the first thing it does is it de-escalates it. So a common reaction I would have from people trying this would be saying, oh, this is stupid. Okay, well the first, to recognize that you feel that this exercise is stupid, that's the intent of the exercise. By you thinking it's stupid, what that really means is you've de-escalated the seriousness of the trauma in your brain. So that's the first thing, is it de-escalates, and then the second thing is it gives you time to think through the event. So for example, say the trauma was, my dad beat me up, or said a bad word, called me a bad name repeatedly, right? So those events, as I say, are so fast, we didn't have time to think about that. When you give your brain time to think, you can realize that, oh yeah, okay, he said that, but that doesn't mean I am. Just because my dad says I'm a loser, that doesn't mean I am a loser. But what if I am a loser? Well, I could do this about it, or I could do that about it. So you have time to work through the sequence of the effects and the destruction. And then the third thing, is the last part, is when you get through that exercise of thinking it through, you remind yourself, it's not happening now. Okay, my dad's not in the room, I'm just by myself right now. It's not happening right now. Or whatever the event is, it's not happening now. And so your body can start registering that you're safe. And so it breaks the cycle of the trauma repeating itself. So I'll show you an example and then you can try it. So what I do is, first of all, you think about the event that is overwhelming you. And I just tap 3 times. You don't cross arms, but I'm going to tap my...
Why is that?
Here?
Why don't you cross arms? Is there a reason for that?
I find that if my arms are touching, then it seems to undo the effect of the getting both brains to work, both sides of the brain. So I just go like this. Yeah, why don't you try it? Just tap 3 times one side, 3 times the other side. Okay, excellent. And that's it. Now try thinking about, was there anything in your life that negatively impacted you? Some trauma, something that when you remember it, boy, you remember all the pain of that incident. So now think of that and do the same thing. Tapping 3 times. And then you start working through it. Okay, yeah, they said that or that happened, but what would I have done if I had more time to react? You know, what does it mean to me? You know, okay, well maybe it's not true what they said. Just because they said it, that doesn't make it true. Okay, and then what's the third thing? When you get to the end of all that, basically you need time by yourself so you feel safe to go through that. Cry if you need to, whatever. And then at the end of that, what do you say? I'm reminding brain that it's not happening now. It's not happening now. I'm safe. That's right. Look at that. I'm safe. And it helps to reset your whole nervous system. So that's the tip. I find it very useful. So that tip is basically a combination of a bunch of psychological things that I learned and found that this is a nice, easy method that works. So there's my tip. And then, of course, there's a Bible verse that says in 1 Peter 5:7, cast all your care on him, for he cares for you. And I'll show you a second tip. For those who missed it, I'm sure you heard about the tragedy on 43rd. 11 people died by a car. So, not only the 11 people died, the other 25 or whatever injured. Not only that, but all the spectators, all the hearers, all the family members that are related. I wasn't there, but I've never seen anything like this in Vancouver that I can think of all my life. So this is a pivotal moment in Vancouver as well, right? So the effects on so many other people. So we talked about judgment, and now we're also talking about comfort. So this application of 1 Peter 5:7, and then we'll wrap up. It says, cast your cares upon him, for he cares for you. So here's a great way to physically cast your worries and anxiety and cares on God. So what you do is you put your hands in a cup like this. Would you try that? Awesome. And you might not have time now, but if you do the exercise now, you'll remember it for later. You name things. God, I'm stressed about this. This is why I'm stressed. This person did this to me. I don't know what's going on. I don't have enough money. Whatever it is, and you name it into your hands, all the things that are bothering you. And then you turn your hands over. Say, Lord, I'm giving it all to you. Try that. Turn your hands over, yeah. And then, so you turn them over, you give them to God, and then lift your hands up higher and say, Lord, I receive your agenda, your schedule, your plans for me. And I take them and I put them on my heart. And doing that, when you have time to actually name everything, it's just a physical way to live out that Bible verse. Releasing, it's just a release to God. And you receive his comfort and his plans.